Perhaps you are listening to this now, and you feel a certain weariness, a spiritual exhaustion. You have done everything you were taught to do. You have affirmed. You have visualized. You have walked in the assumption of your wish fulfilled as best you know how. And yet, your desire remains at a distance. Perhaps it even feels further away now than when you first began. Maybe it is money that seems to slip through your fingers, a relationship that refuses to blossom, or a career that feels stuck no matter how hard you push. You chase and it flees. You push and it resists. It is a divine paradox. The tighter you grasp for that beautiful butterfly, the more you crush its delicate wings. What if I told you that the very effort you are applying is the only thing standing in your way? That the immense energy you are using to force your desire into being is the very reason it has not yet arrived. In our time together today, we will explore this delicate and most powerful art, the art of allowing. We will learn why letting go is not the same as giving up, but is in fact the highest form of faith. And I will show you what to do instead of forcing to finally let what you desire come to you as effortlessly and as naturally as the sun rises in the morning. Stay with me, for in the next moment I shall show you why all your effort has been in vain and why letting go is the hidden key you have overlooked. To understand why your intense effort may be failing you, you must first understand a strange and wonderful paradox of the mind, a principle which demonstrates that your will and your imagination are often at war, and that in such a war, your imagination will always win. The harder you try to consciously force a state with your will, while your imagination is convinced of its opposite, the more you amplify the very state you are trying to escape. It is like holding a cork underwater. The more you push it down, the more you feel its powerful urge to rise. The moment you cease your effort, it shoots to the surface effortlessly. Your feeling of lack, your deep-seated belief that you do not have your desire, that is the cosmic effort, is the force holding it down, constantly reminding you of its buoyancy, of its reality in your world. You must understand that every feeling you entertain radiates a specific nonverbal signature. It is a broadcast. The frequency of lack is easy to recognize. It is charged with anxiety, impatience, and the frantic energy of need. The frequency of fulfillment, however, is one of peace, satisfaction, and a quiet gratitude. Your effort, born of strain, is simply a prolonged broadcast of the frequency of lack. Think of the story of Peter attempting to walk upon the water. As long as his attention was fixed upon his goal, upon the master, he did the impossible. He defied the world of Caesar. But the moment he looked away, the moment he saw the winds and the waves, the facts of his 3D reality, doubt entered his mind. He began to sink. And in that moment of fear, he began to try. He began to force himself to stay afloat, to fight the evidence of his senses. And the more he struggled against the storm, the faster he sank. His success came from a state of calm assumption. His failure came from a state of effort born of fear. That story is your story. Your desire is your master, calling to you. The winds and the waves are the doubts and contradictory facts of your life. To struggle with them, to force them, is to sink. Forcing is an admission to yourself that you are not in the state of the wish fulfilled. For if you truly were the person who had your desire, would you be struggling to obtain it? No, you would be at peace. You would feel a quiet confidence. The feeling would be natural. So you see, The goal is not to try harder. The goal is to feel it differently, to feel it as normal, as simple, as natural. So then, what remains is to discover how this feeling may be cultivated and how it may become the atmosphere of your daily life. So how does one cultivate this feeling of naturalness? How does one move from the violent energy of forcing to the quiet confidence of allowing? It is not accomplished by a grand single action, but by a series of subtle internal shifts. Single action, but by a series of subtle internal shifts. Let us take them one by one. The first is the great shift in focus. You must move your attention from getting to being. Your true work is not to acquire the thing you desire. It is to become, in imagination, the person who already has it. If you desire wealth, you do not spend your day anxiously chasing money. Instead, you ask yourself, what would my inner conversations be like if I were already wealthy? How would I see the world? What assumptions would I hold as true? Then you begin to think from that state. You are no longer a poor man wanting wealth. You are a wealthy man simply living his life. The second key is to redefine what it means to live in the end. Many have been taught that this is a state of constant, effortful visualization. It is not. Living in the end is a state of satisfaction. Think of how you feel after a wonderful meal. You do not continue to stare at the menu, anxiously hoping for food to arrive. You are satisfied. You are at peace. That quiet satisfaction, that inner knowing it is done, that is the true feeling of the wish fulfilled. Your imaginal act is the feast, and the satisfaction is the state you must carry throughout your day. The third key is to discover the secret of the present moment. All desperation springs from the feeling that something is missing now. The remedy is to feel fulfillment in this moment, even before your desire appears. At the end of your day, find one thing, anything for which you can feel genuine gratitude. A kind word, a moment of beauty, the comfort of your bed. By practicing the feeling of gratitude, you are practicing the feeling of fulfillment. And when you can find fulfillment in your present moment, you release the desperate need for the future to be different. In that release, the future is suddenly free to become what you have imagined. The fourth key is to build for yourself a mental sanctuary. This is a short, simple imaginal scene that implies your wish is already fulfilled. Not the moment of receiving it, but a moment after. Simple imaginal scene that implies your wish is already fulfilled. Not the moment of receiving it, but a moment after. If you desire marriage, your scene could be as simple as feeling the cool, smooth wedding band on your finger while washing your hands. If you desire success, it could be a brief congratulatory conversation with a friend, hearing them say, "I always knew you would do it." This scene is your anchor. When the storms of doubt arise in your day, you do not fight the doubt. You simply retreat to your mental sanctuary for a few seconds, feel it real, and return to your day with faith restored. Now, a word of caution to keep you from undoing your work. First, you must resist the impulse to anxiously look for it in your outer world. Every time you check for proof with anxiety, you are performing a powerful imaginal act of doubt. You are impressing your subconscious with the feeling, it is not here yet, and your subconscious, unfailingly loyal, accepts that feeling as your new command. Think of a baker who has placed a cake in the oven. He has done his part. He does not open the oven door every 2 minutes to see if it has risen. To do so would let out the heat, and ruin the cake. Your sustained assumption, your faith, is the heat that bakes your desire into reality. Once you have placed it in the oven, you must leave the door closed. Second, do not discuss your desire with those who are not in sympathy with your aim. Your imaginal act is a tender new creation, a new state of consciousness. Exposing it to the cold winds of doubt and ridicule can chill your conviction, causing you in turn to doubt your own creation. Keep your secret. Let it grow strong within you until it is ready to be born as a fact in your world. This is the art of allowing. It is not about doing more, but about being more. It is a gentle, loving alignment with the reality of your desire. So what does this state of true detachment, of allowing, actually feel like? Let me be clear. It is not apathy. It is not indifference. It is not giving up on your desire. In fact, it is the highest and most potent form of faith. It is the calm assurance of the farmer who has planted a seed in good soil. He does not fret nor dig it up each day. He simply knows he has done his part, and the law of growth will do the rest. It is the feeling of having ordered a fine meal at a wonderful restaurant. You do not follow the waiter into the kitchen to make sure the chef is cooking. You simply relax at your table, enjoying the ambiance, knowing that in due time your order will be served. It is the same assurance with which you know the sun will rise. You do not wake each night in fear, wondering if the dawn will come. You simply know it, and so you rest. In like manner, you must rest in the certainty of your desire fulfilled. For remember, to desire is to confess you do not have. You assume it, you accept it, and then you rest in the knowledge that it is done. Creation is finished. What you seek is already yours. You need only to accept it. This state is a quiet inner peace, a release of all tension. You can think of your desire and you feel a gentle warmth, a quiet smile, not the anxious, desperate yearning of still wanting it, but the pleasant, familiar feeling of knowing it is already yours. When you reach this state, you have moved from being the frantic hunter, chasing your desire through the woods, to becoming the fragrant flower, standing still in the garden, effortlessly drawing all that you desire to you. You do not chase, you simply attract. This is the promise of allowing. This is the secret of letting it come. Now, let us go into the silence.